Shinobu. Last time we told the world the truth about us, the ninja. But there is one more famous warrior we have to talk about.
Ah, you mean the ones who fought in the light while we worked in the shadows, the samurai.
Yes, everyone has heard the word samurai, but who were they really? And what did they live and die for? Let's find out together.
Welcome to Japan with Ninjas, the podcast where we explore Japanese culture in slow, easy English.
I'm Hikari. Last episode was about ninja, so today feels like the perfect partner episode.
And I'm Shinobu. Today's topic is the samurai, who they were, their code of honor called Bushido, and why the world still admires them today.
And Shinobu, since we ninja knew the samurai well, you can tell us the real story, not the movie version, right?
That is the plan. So let's begin with a simple question. Who were the samurai? The word samurai comes from an old word that means to serve. At heart, a samurai was a warrior who served a lord.
To serve. So a samurai always had a master, a lord to protect and obey?
Exactly. It began more than 1,000 years ago. At first, they were simply warriors who protected land for powerful families. But over time, these warriors grew stronger and stronger. And about 800 years ago, something amazing happened. The samurai took power over all of Japan.
Wait, the warriors themselves became the rulers of the whole country?
Yes, the leader of the samurai became the shogun, the top military ruler. For almost 700 years, Japan was ruled not by the emperor, but by the samurai.
700 years! So the samurai were not just soldiers in stories. They were the government, the police, the leaders. They shaped Japan itself.
They were the ruling class, and a ruling class of warriors needed something to guide them. Not just how to fight, but how to live. And that brings us to Bushido.
Bushido. I have heard that word so many times. What does it actually mean?
Bushido means the way of the warrior. It was the code, the set of values a samurai was expected to live by. Think of it as their heart and their rule book.
Okay, so what was in this rule book? What did a true samurai have to value?
Many virtues, but let me give you the big ones. First, loyalty. A samurai was completely loyal to his lord. That loyalty was everything. Second, courage. Not wild, foolish courage, but the calm bravery to do what is right, even when you are afraid.
And I think honor was a huge one too, wasn't it?
Honor was at the very center. To a samurai, his good name was worth more than his own life. Shame was worse than death.
Worse than death? And that connects to something serious, doesn't it? Something I know our listeners have heard of.
You mean seppuku? Yes. If a samurai lost his honor, he could choose to end his own life in a formal way to restore that honor. It shows just how serious honor was to them.
It's a heavy idea for us today, but it tells you everything about how deeply they valued honor and duty.
And there is a gentler side too. Bushido also valued kindness, politeness, and honesty. A true samurai was strong, but also a gentleman.
Okay, now the part everyone waits for. The sword, the katana.
The katana. The samurai believed the sword held the soul of the warrior. It was not just a weapon, it was part of who he was.
I've heard the katana is one of the finest swords ever made. Is that true?
It truly is a masterpiece. A skilled swordsmith would fold the steel again and again, sometimes thousands of layers, to make a blade that is both very hard and does not break. Sharp, strong, and beautiful.
Folding the steel thousands of times? That is more like art than weapon making.
And that is the key to understanding the samurai. They believed a warrior should not only fight well, he should also have a rich mind.
A rich mind? So samurai did more than train with swords?
Much more. Many samurai wrote poetry. They practiced calligraphy. They studied the tea ceremony, which we talked about a few episodes ago. Strength of the body and beauty of the mind, together.
So the ideal samurai could win a battle in the morning and write a beautiful poem in the evening. I love that balance.
There is one famous name every fan should know: Miyamoto Musashi. He was a legendary swordsman who never lost a duel, and he wrote a famous book on strategy called The Book of Five Rings.
A warrior who never lost and wrote a book that people still read today? That's the perfect example of body and mind together.
Exactly. His book is read by business leaders around the world even now. The Way of the Samurai still teaches people 500 years later.
So, Shinobu, if the samurai were so powerful for so long, what happened to them? Where did they go?
About 150 years ago, Japan changed very quickly. The country opened to the world and became modern. A new government built a modern army with guns for everyone.
And in a world of guns and modern armies, the sword-carrying samurai class no longer fit.
That is right. The samurai class was officially ended. They were no longer allowed to carry their swords in public. After 700 years, the age of the samurai was over.
That's a little sad, honestly. The end of such a long story.
But here's the beautiful part. The samurai disappeared, yet Bushido did not. The spirit lived on inside Japanese culture.
How so? Where can we still feel the samurai spirit today?
In many places. In martial arts, like kendo and judo. In the deep respect and politeness in daily life. In doing your job with pride and giving your full effort. That is Bushido, alive today.
And visitors can still meet the samurai world, right? For real?
Yes, you can visit real castles like Himeji, the beautiful white heron castle. You can see real katana and armor in museums. And in some towns, you can even try wearing samurai armor yourself.
Battle in the morning, poem in the evening, and armor for the tourists today. The samurai never really left. Recap time. The samurai were warriors who served their lords, and for about 700 years, they actually ruled Japan.
They lived by Bushido, the way of the warrior. Loyalty, courage, and above all, honor. Honor even more precious than life itself.
The katana held the warrior's soul, and a true samurai balanced strength with poetry, calligraphy, and tea, like the legend Miyamoto Musashi.
The samurai class ended about 150 years ago, but their spirit still lives in martial arts, in manners, and in Japanese hearts today.
The ninja in the shadows and the samurai in the light. Now you know both sides of old Japan.
Thank you for walking the way of the warrior with us today. We hope you carry a little of that spirit with you.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and give us a like. It helps more history fans and English learners find us.
And here is today's question. Which Bushido value speaks to you most? Loyalty, courage, or honor? Tell us in the comments.
Next time, another journey into the heart of Japan. Until then, live with honor and stay strong of heart.
See you next time on Japan with Ninjas. Matinee.